Welcome to the Legends of Lanimora Podcast. I'm your Dungeon Master, Nathan. With me this evening I have Emily.
Hello.
Nicole.
Sup?
And Nova.
Heyo.
Welcome. At last week's episode, a lot of stuff happened, but not a lot of stuff happened, to put it long story short. So I'll backtrack a little bit. So the party has been in the Circle of All. There have been some bridge destructions. They have been helping out with that. The bridge is going from the Circle of All to Gizmoboro specifically. The Bridge of Blossoms and the Rock Gear Crossing. So they helped with the one bridge collapse that they saw with a what looked to be Amorpheric actually destroying the bridge. Their automaton helper from season 1. So at the end of the previous episode, they met with a golden mantle that was helping with the rescue efforts in Gizmoboro. And at the end of that episode, they took their helmet off and it was revealed to be Thenquil, the daughter of Tasvig Duvet, who is at the head of the Unending Host. She extended her hand for a handshake to Scar, and now we're in last week's episode territory, and they kidnapped her. And that's where we are now.
When I say kidnap,
I think I would, though, because you did.
I would not say kidnapped. I would say she is a hostage. Is that not the same thing?
Is that better?
Is that
What's
better?
the difference between
You understand
a
that's
hostage
worse, right?
and
Yes,
a kidnapping?
But she is a
Song by Fall Out Boy.
She is a tool. Yes, it is. I caught that. Thank you to the elder emos out there. She is an instrument for her father's, Lord Blanket, for his whole thing. Allegedly. Come on. We know. Fucking Calvin said as much that we were going to be seeing her soon. And you know damn well she didn't just show up there at happenstance, that she just happened to be there when that happened. She was there to see it through. We know there's illusionary magic involved. Kidnapping her seemed like the best choice.
I think
There
you
were some
said
heavy
specifically
air quotes
prisoner
there.
of war.
Well, kind of.
I did, or Nicole did?
No, I think I did.
I think Nicole did.
Hey, we
So
are
we
at
either
war
have
with Kelvin and his bullshit people.
Oh no, that
So
was
it's either a kidnapped victim, a hostage, or a prisoner of war.
None of which sounds great.
Are we the baddies?
Now we're trying to stop the baddie. She's one of the baddies. I'm trying to get information from her.
Sometimes we gotta check in with each other. We're doing some weird shit. I'm just saying.
I took her for the greater good.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so what happened at the very end of last week's episode, after Thenquil was
Absconded from her post.
After Thenquil found herself suddenly on the other side of a demolished bridge, against her will, via a flying druid and a hug-happy tiefling, you all got Thenquil and put her in an infirmary tent. She was bound. When you got over to the Circle of All, she did a little bit of laughing. And where you all left, Drew went off to meditate. And Saf went to go talk to Sokoba. And Scar, I don't remember exactly what you're doing. It has been like a month since we recorded. However, you all kind of went your separate ways. And Thenquil is in this tent. She has been dealt with to a certain extent, and Gonoleth has said maybe it's best if you all move on from the Circle of All. And that's kind of where we ended last week's episode. So, picking up right where we left off, what would you all like to do now that you have Thenquil in your vicinity, let's say. Let's not use some negative connotations. Good vibes only. Okay, so that's the situation you all are in.
So I didn't wake up today
What would you like
choosing
to do?
violence, but is that what y'all want me to do?
What?
Meaning I'm going to go into that tent and smack her around a little bit until she concedes. I'm going to like do the knives and the fingernails bit. Like I'm going to torture her ass for her answers.
I don't think that is the correct way to handle this. This is true.
Gonoleth peeks up too, and he's like, "Oh no! Please don't shed any more blood here. Have you all tried simply talking with her?"
No. However, pass. What I do want to do, I do think okay, listen, we will talk to her, but I do think I want her to be willing to talk to us. And in order to do that, I think the best way to do that is not going to be torture necessarily, but maybe just kind of like freak her out a little bit. Maybe just freak her out. Maybe just a little bit. Like, I'm pretty sure I can do magic.
Who's got some hella high persuasion?
Pretty sure my persuasion's not super low.
Also, have to keep in mind that I kept having to use hella bonuses to try to hit her. So she's strong, and I'm not thinking just physically. I'm thinking she's mentally strong.
She's strong.
She is strong.
Where is my fucking
poison for Goose Go? Goose Go's poison. Does Andy have some sort of technology that she can like scan, or they can scan tranquil Fenquil?
Run back that.
Been playing a lot of Dragon Age.
I
do not have a lie detector on me.
No, I meant scan them and get any sort of information on them. Is that like a thing Andy can do?
Andy can't do that kind of perception. They can read maps real good and pull up information from, histories from like the Scrivener's Orbs. But as far as just like with kind of real world AI, it's not very good at reading people, situations, unless they got data on it.
Sorry, I was thinking more along the lines of like, scan it, see if they can, through the scan, see if they can detect their like makeup, like their biological makeup kind of shit, like their race, their class, their, whatever rank or any sort of information that we don't already know, maybe.
Well, I can give you a little more information on Thenquil for those that are uninitiated, or I have not described this to anyone before. So Thenquil is a female hobgoblin. She's tall, and she is. Roll me a history, Scar.
Shall do that. 17.
Okay, you recall that in speaking with Tasvig in the past, or Kelvin, you're not 100% sure, but you're not sure who you were talking to, but you're sure that Thenquil is a general, as well as a golden mantle.
Which is why I think she's too clever and too well trained in normal, quote unquote, interrogational tactics.
Mm-hmm. What if we just like scare her? And by scare her, I mean like, okay, well, I was gonna say like with some like metaphysical shit, but to be fair, her sister is like a seer and they are kind of involved with all of this other crazy bullshit.
It also doesn't seem like she intimidates easily, being a general.
Yeah.
I would like to look at the artificer's orbs, I guess you would call them.
The ones that Greg delivered?
Yeah.
I did say that those have been delivered, right?
Yeah. And see if there's any that would help the situation at all that I could upload to Andy.
Wait, quick question. Did we take out everything? Did we empty Thanquil's pockets?
Yes.
Yeah, you stripped her of her ceremonial armor that she was wearing, that brass plate, and she's her hands are bound, and she is not armored, and she does not have any of her gear on her.
Well, did she have any personal effects on her?
First, let me get a roll from Saf for... Let's make it a intelligence or investigation check, either one. Just a straight intelligence or investigation, whichever one's better for you, to see if you can quickly find any data on these artificing orbs, to see if there's anything that might help you here in this situation. And then, Scar, if you would like to look through Thanquil's gear, you can do that with an investigation roll as well.
It is a 22.
Okay, so Saf, you go through the artificing orbs that have been delivered by Greg, and you find one that looks like it might be promising. This looks to be a more recent orb produced for the purpose of having information on military personnel, that kind of thing. And it's got some information on, the golden mantles and their proficiencies, ranks, and all that stuff for other, the artificers need this when they have to work with the golden mantles, at the behest of Gizmoboro. They'll basically rent out the services of their artificers, right? And so sometimes you need information on the golden mantles you'll be working with, and so you load up the one for fellows onto Andy, and she goes, "Yes, what would you like to know, user Saf?"
When was this orb created?
Searching. This orb was created 1 month ago.
Okay, what information do you have on Thanquil?
Searching. There is no data on Thanquil on this orb. Do you have another request?
Okay, Andy, so does that mean that Thanquil is not actually a golden mantle because they're not in the system?
Searching. According to these records, there is a golden mantle position open in the Borough of Fellows.
So, I turn to Drew.
What the fuck's going on?
So, Andy has an orb that I uploaded the information from, that has information from up to a month ago that says that there was an open position in Golden Mantle for the Golden Mantle ship in Fellows at the time.
I thought that a month ago... Wait, I thought that we couldn't have orbs because the orbs were made by Scriveners, right? A long time ago?
Artificers...
So the Scriveners they have a facsimile of it, but the Scrivener's orbs are like old technology and way better than the Artificer's orbs were. Artificer's orbs can hold a very small bit of information compared to the Scrivener's orbs.
Okay,
it's like the difference between like a 2 terabyte hard drive and like a thumb drive.
It means nothing to me. So as far as like this situation that actually matters, fantasy, figuring things out. I thought, so that's fine then. It's an artificer's orb, so that's a different thing, and that's not weird that we have that.
No.
Okay, got it. So what is weird about the situation is that it says that there was an opening a month ago?
Yes. Which means that Thenquil was placed in the Golden Mantle ship up to a month ago.
What else was going on a month ago? Is that when the Triumvirate was announced, or was that sooner?
The Triumvirate was announced pretty recently. You heard word of it from Agamir when he came right at the beginning of this season, so just a few weeks ago.
So she's only been at Golden Mantle for a couple weeks.
So the Triumvirate becomes a thing, and then she gets a Golden Mantle ship in Fellows, where Calvin is consul.
Sounds like nepotism to me, but okay. I'm sure she earned it.
Being a general, yeah.
And her dad's the fucking consul of Fellows.
Well, her dad's, pretend dead.
Dead.
Her dad's still presumed dead.
You don't have to feel bad for her. Her dad's just presumed dead.
Are you really drinking from a City and Snow mug while we're recording the Legends of Lanimora podcast?
Sitting in Snow is really good, y'all. I don't know if you've listened to it, but it's fantastic. Anyway, yes, I am. It says Novi on the other side. I do try to usually keep it over here, but yeah, I am drinking from Sitting in Snow.
So while Saf and Drew are talking about the timeline for Thenquil becoming a Golden Mantle, Scar, you are going through Thenquil's effects, and you see, this is all the standard boilerplate ceremonial brass plate armor. It offers no protection, and it's really just for show. It's flashy. And as far as weapons go, she did not have anything on her that would have actually harmed any of you. It's all just ceremonial, blunted or dulled blades. And she had a small pouch on her as well. But other than that, she really did not have anything.
What was in the
She was
pouch?
just in ceremonial gear.
What's in the pouch?
Okay, you open up the pouch and you open up the pouch. You see some spare change, and there's a
most of the way used chapstick. You know how you can never finish those.
Yeah, it's mostly used chapstick. There is a piece of parchment that's in there as well. It's loose change in parchment. It's folded up, bit of parchment.
I would like to read said parchment.
What's in it?
What does it say?
Scar, are you sharing with the class, or are you keeping it to yourself?
Nah, I'm gonna read it aloud. I'm not a dick.
So you unfold the parchment, and it says, they're in the circle of all. Cause a distraction on the way back from your Golden Mantle ship ceremony.
So this is a setup.
No, I think the distraction was the thing we saw. The bridges. That was the distraction. So there was something else going on. So that means if this... Okay, two things. Either this was the distraction, like the boulders and the destroying the bridges was the distraction, which means there's something bigger happening right now, which is fucked up. Because there's some big shit just went down, so that means even bigger shit's going down. Or two, they were meant to distract us. She's supposed to distract us now. This is the distraction. Like, us being here with her is the distraction. I'm not sure which.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Maybe both.
Maybe we have to talk to her. I think we have to go in and talk to her.
On her way back from her golden mantle ship.
Oh, that means she just got it like today.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're in the circle of all, like right across from Gizmoboro. We're nowhere near Fellows at the moment. Where could she have been going?
What'd you say, Nathan?
I said that's correct. That you are in the circle of all, nowhere near Fellows, and where you were in Gizmoboro was not near Fellows either.
So where was she going to?
You know who I think would maybe have an answer for that?
Ben Quill.
We need to talk to her. Let's go.
Who do you work
wait, hold
for?
on. Let me just take temperature here. Are you all scared of Thing Quill?
I'm not scared. I'm just going into this with the assumption that she's pretty badass. And so the normal methods to which we would question people are not going to work in this situation. So I'm automatically thinking that we're going to need to go to extremes.
So you all are heading into the tent that Thing Quill is being held in? Are you all going together, or only one of you going in at a time?
Well, have we asked Donalith if they have some sort of truth serum, some type of shit?
You have not. If you would like to, you can.
Yeah, I kind of want to ask if that's an option.
What is your truthiest plant here in the circle of all?
For what end?
I want to interrogate Quill without any bloodshed, as you have requested. I also don't want to... Yeah, I'm not a bully, but I do need answers. So I'm wondering if you have a truth serum or have the ingredients to create such a serum.
Well, here in the circle, we try not to rely on those types of persuasions in order to get the information we may seek. The closest approximation we would have, you've already seen with the Goodberry and your friend Karen. So, if there is information that we need, we tend to... what's the expression? Kill them with kindness?
I knew it. I knew he was going to be like, put a flower crown on him.
Put a bird on it.
I'll start braiding her hair. And, yeah.
She already has some
mint. It promotes communication and honesty.
She already has some pretty dope braids in, by the way.
Nope, I undo them in.
I don't know if I gave that.
Do my own braids.
Okay. That's fine.
Lovely.
I think we should play good cop, bad cop, detect thoughts.
Doesn't once detect thoughts happen where you probe deeper, the deeper you go into their mind, the more they know what you're doing and can resist?
Yeah, you can read surface thoughts.
I will also say, for real, I don't have detect thoughts written down on any of these sheets of paper.
You might have taken it.
Used that before.
Yeah, clerics can swap their spells out at will. So you probably, when you were meditating, once you swapped it out for something that was going to be more relevant to what you were doing.
That doesn't sound like me.
It doesn't, but it's something you could do. I'm going to say that's probably what happened.
Sure. Will you let me just have it back?
You might have been leveling. If it's not on your current prepared spells list, no. What probably happened is you went and leveled up once and you said, all right, I don't need detect thoughts right now. Let me put this up.
Possibly. I don't have detect thoughts right now.
Do any of my artificer's orbs look like they contain the exe files for a lie detector?
Roll me an investigation. Let's roll the dice. We're playing D&D, baby.
That's a 24.
Okay, you look through one of the orbs, and or you look through all the orbs that you have, and you notice that there's a line for a rudimentary automatic insight checker, basically, that you can load onto Andy.
Rudimentary, you said.
Yeah, so it would be the level of insight it would be able to detect would be determined by your insight check. Or you could do an intelligence roll to try and bump it a little bit.
Could I use my investigation modifier?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
I have just decided yes.
Good cop, bad cop, lie detector, robot. How's that?
Sure.
Okay, let me know what Andy's now passive insight is.
+8. Well,
So
Andy
10
is
plus 8.
actively trying to detect lies, so...
So it's an 18 then. 10 plus 8. Passive is 10 plus whatever the modifier is.
Yes.
Just like with passive perception and all that. Cool. Okay, so you've got a lie detector in Andy. Who's good cop?
I feel
I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be true because I don't think I could play good cop.
yeah, I'm pretty
Trick
sure that's
question.
going
There's
to
no
be
such
me.
thing as a good cop.
Heyo, got him.
Eh.
Got him!
You're right.
In case you're wondering where we stand.
Anyway,
If you
defund the
haven't figured
police.
it out thus far, welcome to episode 80.
Anyway, so yeah, I think I would be the good cop in this situation. I'll bring the tea. And then
Hopefully
you can...
she spills it.
There we go. Perfect. Let's go.
Okay. Cool. So you walk into the tent. I imagine that Scar and Drew are kind of in front. Saf and Andy are behind. Is that how you're kind of working it? Or is Saf, are you piloting Andy right now? Or are they in mechanical servant mode?
Mechanical servant.
Yeah, I'll say they're in mechanical servant mode.
Yes. Okay. So when we go in, it's like that episode in like Law and Order when they go in and they've got like the two cops go in first, and then behind them is like the person with the lie detector test, and they've got the headphones on. That's Saf. So the headphones are like half as big as she is, but like on her head, and she like rolls Andy in next to the table and gets her all hooked up while the rest of us are talking, and we're like, this is our assistant. And then like when we ask questions, we look over at Saf, and Saf will just like look up and go. Just nod or just like no.
I would like to add to that as well, and I would like to. So Drew and Scar go to the front of Thenquill, and I would like to go with Andy to the side and do some like confusing looking technical shizwaz on Andy while they're talking. And if Andy detects a lie, I would like a big, loud to sound.
Did you load that sound bite onto Andy? Yeah, that's going to happen.
Okay.
She had to make the sound like into it, so it's really just Saf making the noise.
I'm like, what?
Okay, so you walk in. Thenquill is sitting on the floor of this tent. She is sitting cross-legged, and she's got her hands bound behind her. And she looks at you and says, "So you finally decided to show up, huh?"
Oh, God. Yeah, I remember the voice now.
Is that what is scary about it? The voice?
The voice?
No, I don't think that's what's scary about it. I think she literally, I just get like the vibe that this is all a complete setup and that we're all fucked. And that I'm the one that fucked us. Because I'm the one that kidnapped her. However you want to put it.
Yeah, however you want to phrase what happened.
Let's say apprehended.
I will go with that. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it as it comes.
So, what are you here for? What do you want?
What are you here for? What do you want? Sorry, I know I'm not supposed to be playing this game. Like, I meant playing the good cop, bad cop. I meant playing the good cop, bad cop role.
Why am I here? I mean, I'm sure you looked through my bag. I'm here to I'm here on orders to make a distraction. I know where you were.
But why?
I'm really surprised that you are here.
Why?
Can you state your name for the record? And I'm doing my technical stuff.
Ben Quill Duvet, Golden Mantle of Fellows.
And is that a recent?
Is that what you came here for?
Or...
Do you want me to spell? Do you want me to spell it for you, or?
You're sounding a little rough, Thin Quill. May I call you Thin? Here, have some tea. And I slide over some tea. Miss Quill. And I slide over some tea.
Miss Quill.
She looks down at it as you slide it across the floor, and she looks back up at you, and she shrugs her shoulders as if like, my hands are tied behind my back. I can't do anything about this. And she looks back to all of you. So are we just playing games, or?
No one's playing games. We are actually just looking for some information, and we're hoping that you can help us. It seems like you're pretty willing to talk, actually. So we thought we'd give you that moment. Go ahead. Spotlight is yours.
I mean, what do you want to know?
What were you sent here to tell us? You clearly had a message.
Yeah, I'm here to distract you all and...
From what?
Get you. What do you think from? Did you see what happened at the bridges?
Distract us from the bridges?
Yeah. Otherwise, the plan wasn't going to work. But you know what? You all actually helped a lot. So thank you for that. What's the name of your organization again? Just so I'm clear.
What organization?
You all are working with someone, right?
I don't know.
It just can't be the three of you.
I don't know what you're referring
causing
to.
all these problems. You got the big guy, the one that we made look like it broke the bridges.
Why did you do that, by the way?
You attacked the archives about 6 months ago, remember? Anything ringing a bell?
I didn't.
Surely it's just not the three of you.
Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah.
When she says you attacked the archive 6 months ago, does Andy go off like that's a lie?
Andy hasn't gone off this whole time.
Okay.
Yeah, she hasn't gone off at all. So, what was your question? Why did I do this? Why? Is it not obvious? You all... she doesn't gesture because she has her hands tied behind her back. You all, and whatever that thing is that you carry with you, or carries you, or whatever, had attacked the archives, and we are going to make it look like those attacks are still happening.
Why?
And it's going to make the Triumvirate look real good.
To whose benefit?
The Triumvirate's benefit.
How?
Why
Go
was the
on,
Triumvirate
show your
from...
work.
Sorry, you all are talking over each other. It's like you didn't come in here with a plan or anything. So
Oh my god.
one at a time. Who's first? I don't have all day. I'm kind of tied up.
Well, it's good to see you have a sense of humor.
Hold on, I'm checking to see if I have a electrical shocking.
I'm positively giddy right now. I mean, this couldn't have gone better. I mean, look, this automaton, whatever you want to call it, attacking the archives, then attacking these bridges, and then I'm kidnapped by the very people who are in charge of this automaton. It's going to make the triumvirate look really... Oh, silly me, it's been such a long day. On the day of my golden mantle ship ceremony as well, it's just going to make whatever organization you're looking for just look so bad. Man, this is making it so easy for the triumvirate to find a villain to point their fingers at and solidify their power. You really are making my job easy. So if I could clap, I would. Thank you. Really, for making that job easier.
I mean, here's my question, though. So what's the triumvirate going to do? Are you going to stage some big battle between you and the stone monster that you've created? Is that the plan? And you're going to, arrest it?
Kelvin told me what you all know. You know that... you know who the unending host is, right? Or are you not the same people?
Amazing.
Are you not the same three that Kelvin was talking about? They said that there were a few attempts to try and stop what they were doing, but...
No, I understand. We heard about the unending host. Sorry. I'm still failing to see how all of this is connected. And I'm Drew's looking around. She's like, am I just missing the entire point here? Is the point for you to cause chaos and then bring about the unending horde or host and then you look good for that? I'm so... Please go off. I am ready. I am ready and waiting. Drew picks up the tea and she starts drinking it, sits cross-legged in front of Thenquill and is like, please tell us your story. I am so confused. Please lay it out.
Staff has...
No, you've got the gist of it.
That can't be right. That doesn't make any sense.
Ahead.
When I asked for Thenquill to state her name for the record, I hit the record button, I just would like to say.
Okay, that's fine.
Record as in, Andy's recording?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got the gist of it. Bring about chaos so that the triumvirate can solidify power, become, a centralized power in all of Alari. This whole business with the boroughs, all the consuls, all their golden mantles. All this bureaucracy. We just need one power in charge. And we're going to get that power.
Says your crazy ass dad.
Well, it's working, isn't it?
Is it?
Tell me how it's not.
You're here bound up and not out there making plans.
I'm here bound up and our engines are going to be talking about how I have been kidnapped by some entity that we also have to, get power to stop. And that's going to just make this so much easier for the triumvirate to spin up the wheels, get the people agitated, give them a common enemy, someone hiding in the shadows. We thought it was just going to be this monster, but my men and women on that bridge, they saw how I was apprehended, how I was taken away in the midst of a rescue effort.
Did they? I thought the fog didn't.
And,
just out of character.
Everyone just kind of did see that.
Yeah, the fog wasn't conspicuous at all. It wasn't. I don't think. I don't know if they saw it. At that point, Andy goes.
Yeah, see, they didn't
what is this?
see.
Is this?
She was beat.
Is this some sort? Is this some sort of? Are you trying to see if I'm lying or? That was sarcasm. Of course they saw it. Everyone saw you take me in the midst of a rescue effort. This really couldn't go any better.
Did they, though?
Shadowy organization? You mean like the likes of the Order of Alteration?
Who? Who are you talking about?
Oh,
Who's
the Taylors.
Is that who you're working for?
Yes.
You work for the Order of Alteration? That's the name of your organization?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
100%.
I would like to do an insight. Saf would like to do an insight. As to whether or not she actually knows what the Order of Alteration is. Well, that's 12.
Does the name Sloran ring a bell? Mine was a 17. See if she...
You all don't sense any... you don't sense that she's trying to deceive or anything with you. She's being straight. She doesn't know what the Order of Alteration is. So Lauren, he's the golden mantle of one of the golden mantles in the archives. Yeah. What about him?
Is that all?
He's a lore keeper. What does Saloran matter? Is he part of your organization too?
What about your father? What about your What about your father?
Right.
What about
father?
How's he doing these days?
Great. Even better now. I'm sure he's going to hear about this and
Hear about what?
The wheels
what
are
was
just going to keep spinning.
So the goal was to cause chaos by making it look like the giant thing that was supposedly in the archives is causing terror across the rest of the lands. No one's safe, so they should get behind this triumvirate of yours.
Yep, yeah.
And how
then
exactly...
when we unleash the when we unleash the incarnate, that's going to be the ultimate test. The triumvirate will take it down. Bingo bongo.
How exactly
in power.
How exactly are you doing that whole thing with the giant, showing the giant? Because we know that it didn't really, that stone giant didn't really attack the bridge. We know it was something else. How'd you do it?
No. I mean, I don't know how you all do it, but the way we do it with illusion magic. I mean, thank you for the template.
How did the bridge really get destroyed then?
We set off charges. Threw boulders, trebuchets for the northern bridge. The other one is valves and everything. It just went right up. That thing was not up to code.
Sorry, that was funny.
So you admit that you were the ones that destroyed the bridge and you used illusion magic to make it look like that giant thing did it.
Well, I didn't. I was part of the rescue effort.
Were you now? I thought you just said you were told to distract us and you were in the right place at the right time for a reason.
Wasn't I? I sure was. Any other questions? I mean,
Yeah,
it doesn't
where were
matter
you
what
heading?
you all know. What do you mean?
You're pretty far away from Fellows, weren't you? So, on your way to where? Where were you heading?
I was heading to Gizmoboro. And then to the Circle of All. To cause a distraction. So that you all wouldn't get in the way of the bridges. But fortunately, you all were a little slow. And so we crossed paths, and now we're here, talking. But it doesn't change anything. You all can't stop us. Even if you do what you want. You could try and kill me here. But that's just going to make things easier for the host.
Do you even know what the unending host is?
Of course I know what the unending host is. Do you not remember what I've been talking? Of course I know what the host is. I helped find the Temple of Depths and Darkness.
Yeah, but who's the incarnate? You don't know them.
It doesn't matter if I know them or see them. I know that we're going to be able to bring it from the shade into the mortal plane, and that's going to help us solidify power. We just need the Temple of Depths and Darkness up and running, and we're golden. And that's already well underway, so there's nothing you can do to stop us. I mean, I can tell you everything.
Okay.
Your little artificer's toy could be recording this information. Who's going to believe you?
Literally anyone who watches it.
Is going to what?
Is going to believe it.
Believe what? So you are recording? I mean, I was just guessing, but...
What? It wasn't obvious?
I mean, I know my way around an artificer's tool. I can see the blinking light. So... I know you all don't think I'm stupid.
No, I would never say stupid.
You hear Andy go...
Listen,
Who's picking
Andy.
up on Scar's sarcasm?
So Andy can't tell the difference between sarcasm and lies? That's helpful.
This is a robot.
But humans can tell the difference between sarcasm and lies.
That's going to be the new prove you're not a robot.
Yeah. I don't know what else to ask. I feel really stupid right now. It's like my brain can't form actual questions that I would need to know. Like I'm trying to trick her,
now?
but she's fucking smart. Listen, I want to kill her.
So what do we do now? We just sit here staring at each other in this tent, or are you going to try and kill me? Am I free to go? What are we doing here?
I thought the smoke blinded the people from seeing us taking her.
The way that the smoke worked, remember you had one of the copper mantles was using gust of wind to get the smoke out of the way too.
Could they actually see that it was us that was taking them? Weren't we high enough off when we took off with the bird people to like conceal that fact?
They're called druids.
I know what they're called. Sorry.
Well, yeah, it's fine. Well, bird people could have been Aarakocra or like Kinku or something. Anyone who was on the bridge, you were too wrapped up in the trying to get Thanquil, I think, but from what you can gather, anyone would have seen the druids kind of come down and scoop you up, and anyone on the bridge would have known that there were people that weren't part of the mantles there, and that their golden mantle is now gone. So they know that someone took her, at least. The degree to which they know who exactly you all are is up for debate.
I vote we kill her. Just saying.
I vote we trade her.
One less problem out of the way. Trade her for what?
Well, trade her for my grandfather, obviously.
Who's your grandfather?
Don't worry about it.
No, really. Who is he? Maybe I know him.
I stay silent.
The little halfling. It's not a... it's not a Ebo.
No,
that's
it.
Not Ebo.
Old Bebo.
Not Blindy.
Old Bebo.
Grandpa Bebo.
Not not Blindy. Not them. Is it what's the insufferable one? Milo? Roll me a deception, please, Saf, to try and keep your cool.
I think we all should, because I would react to that.
It's an 18.
I got a 14.
19.
Oh, so it is Milo. Yeah, he's something.
I would
Where
like
is
to
he?
say that I go to punch her, and then Scar sees it and holds me back.
Well, we'll have to ask Scar, won't we?
Review that. Absolutely.
Struck a nerve, haven't I? Yeah, he's something. He's been helping with the temple. He's doing a great job.
Helping with the temple. What
He was
temple?
the Temple of Depths and Darkness. Do you not remember me talking about this? It's
So he's on
the
tour
key to
still?
everything. Tour? No. We're building a new temple. It's here on Alari.
Where?
Where? Wouldn't you like to know? But you know what? No, it doesn't even matter. Yeah, it's an Addis bounty. Why do you think Addis bounty is part of the triumvirate? No one cares about the farmers. Yeah, I mean, the food production's great, but no, we just needed a wide open space. We're going to tear that shit apart. Put a new temple into there. It's
That's under
perfect.
my breath. That's a great soundbite.
I don't. Why would you build a new temple there? What for?
The old one failed. The old one failed. It wasn't in a prime location.
What do you mean by prime
But
location?
we've got the benefit of... Yeah, it means... I don't know. Srelesfet talks about it all the time. It needs this and that, and it did... I don't know. She talks about the field of sacrifice. She talks about, something about a hole that needs to be constructed and it has to be optimally... Whatever. She's not gesticulating like I am. It's all important portal opening something or other. I don't understand all the technicalities of it. All I know is that it's a massive task, and since Dr. Milo had seen the previous temple with his artificer skills and Kelvin's influence, he can make Dr. Milo do whatever he wants.
How close are you to being finished?
Oh, a few months. Like I said, there's no way you can stop us. It's imminent.
Why is
So
that?
you've got...
Why's what? What do you mean? You think the three of you and your Order of Alteration are going to be able to stop us?
Stranger things have happened.
Okay.
I really want to kill her and punch her in the face.
It's tough talk for a disgraced mantle.
Who the hell are you calling disgraced? I was doing my job, did everything that was asked of me. Your father's the one that fucked me over. And he'll pay for that.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that. I don't see a mantle on your shoulders right now.
I don't need a mantle on my shoulders to bring you to justice.
I don't see one on yours either. I say as she's not wearing a mantle.
You got
I fist bump Saf for that
You got me
sick
there.
burn. Thanks for that, Saf.
you've got me. Good. Well, at the end of the day, even if you were to put a mantle back on, who would even want you on their force?
All right, I punch her. I'm sorry, but I have to.
Roll for damage, please. D4 plus your strength modifier.
7.
Well, at least you know how to throw a punch. You've got that going for you, but that's not going to get that mantle back on your shoulders, Scar.
So how about you tell me what will? Can we Please kill him.
Have you thought of a life of comedy, Scar? That's really something else. Oh, well, hey, I'll ask you this once. How would you like to join the unending host?
Not in your wildest dreams. You couldn't afford me.
Well, okay. I mean, there might have been a slot. I hear might be some golden mantle opportunities opening up, but hey, if you don't want it, I guess you just don't want it hard enough. That's fine.
I want to stop you idiots from taking over the world and destroying it more than anything else.
Listen, I've told you, it's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Why do you say that?
We're not destroying the Temple of Depths and Darkness is going to work this time.
Why do you say that?
Srilla Sve has seen all the visions.
What do you need in order to make that happen?
You're asking the wrong person. I don't know.
So what do you think?
My sister would know more.
What do you think we should do with you then?
Oh, I could care less. It doesn't matter. Anything that you do to me will only move forward the host's goals. So it's up to you, really.
All right.
Hold on to me. Keep asking me questions. I'll pump you full of information. All information that's come too little too late. But if that's what you want, hey, I'm here. If you just need someone to talk to, if you need a punching bag, work on those punches, Scar, I'm here.
Unless anyone else wants to ask any questions, I think she shouldn't be bound and gagged and we should talk.
Is Milo on the same memory stuff that the other people were on?
Are you asking Thing Quill?
Yeah.
What, Kelvin's little potions he does? Yeah. Milo has to take those.
Okay, that'll be all.
Drew?
What is your favorite color?
What?
What's your favorite color?
What is your quest?
Blue? Why?
Okay, I will make sure your whole cell is decorated in green. All right, peace out.
It was lovely chatting. Good luck.
Terrible talking to you. Thank you so much for your help.
Thanks for the sound bites. And I stop recording.
Thankwil sits there, quiet as you leave. She stays cross-legged and with her arms behind her back.
I want her bound.
You all have...
And gagged.
She is bound.
Well, I want her gagged.
That's what you say as you come out of the tent to those waiting around it.
Yeah.
Okay. So a few druids go in and help you with that request. They bind her legs and they put a gag in her mouth so that she's not able to speak. She does not put up a fight for any of that. She's still in that tent, so... Well, what have you learned? This is Gonoleth.
Learned that she's fucking rude.
Anything else?
Mostly that they did this on purpose so that they could create a distraction. Or the plan was for them to distract us from what was happening today, and they took out the bridges. Basically, with the one to Gizmoboro, they just kind of had to flip a few switches. Apparently, that one was not very stable to begin with, and then with the one on our side, they used illusion magic, and then had explosives in the bridge rigged to go. So it looked like it was a monster destroying the bridge, but it was actually them destroying the bridge. The plan is basically get everyone on the same side against a common enemy and then use that to seize power and bring forth what they call the unending horde.
Host.
Unending host.
So.
So, if anyone asks, the Order of Alteration did this.
Yes.
I say we kill her and put the blame on them. In some way. Figure out a way to put the blame on them.
Well, Thinquill will stay here with us in the circle. We can have her imprisoned. Jonathan looks pensive for a moment, and he says, is there anything that they said about their plan that we might be able to stop them?
Just that we have their entire plan recorded so that we can show the other consuls and try and get them on our side.
Yeah, if you want to hear our conversation, we do have it recorded.
Yes, I would like to listen to that now, please.
Okay, let's go do that. I'll make tea.
Okay, you all make tea. Gonala sits down, he listens to the whole recording, and he says, so, it seems as though you will be heading to Ada's Bounty then? Or do you have other plans?
I mean, I feel like I want to go to Ada's Bounty.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure we have to go to Ada's Bounty now.
Yeah.
Well, I don't speak with Falk Cromwell very often, the consul of Ada's Bounty, part of the Triumvirate now. However, I know there are some contacts there that work very closely with Falk, who may be more aligned with visions of the Knights of Halartha and not so much of the Unending Host. I understand that they've been in quite some trouble recently as well with their views. So, let me see. What was their name? Yes. I remember. Their name is Pulwit Sim. They're one of the agricultural overseers out of Ada's Bounty. They've been seeing some unsettling things recently. They may be able to tell you more. They've been getting threats, I believe they said, but so they may be able to use your help, but there would also be a contact for you in Ada's Bounty.
I'd like to get word to our people about what's happened, what we know, and get their advice on what they think we should do with Thinquill.
Excellent. And where are your people again? The Knights of Halartha?
I'd rather not say.
Well, we can send one of my associates here. We could send Greg, who's already gone on a quest for you.
We have ways of
to get a message
communicating.
out and a message back.
We have ways of communicating with them without use of other people. You have to understand that we're just...
If that's what you'd like to do, that's what you...
no offense, Consul. It's more that the less people that know those kinds of things, the less people can betray us. Not that you would, but we do know that our enemy has the means to take over people's minds. And I would hate to see that happen to you because you've been a true friend to us so far.
Thank you. I understand. Truly, I do. Now, before you go, and you should go soon, I did want to give you these. And Gonaleth has in his hand 5 rings.
Oh,
and they
God.
look like they're made of braided twigs. And they're fantastically light when you hold them. And there's a magical energy about them as well. And he says, now this is not a true approximation of the power that I used to get you out here so quickly from the central of the Circle of All. However, this will grant you some short-range maneuverings, should you need to, in wooded environments. And he gives one to each of the 3 of you, and then to Karen and Sokoba as well. I hope it serves you well. It's the least I can do for everything you've done for me.
I'm sorry that this tragedy got brought to your doorstep, but we're going to do everything we can to get back at the people who did this.
Good. We'll be working with the people of Gizmoboro to reconstruct the bridges. We'll continue to search for any survivors of the Bridge of Blossoms. And we will...
Sorry.
Every time I pause, you all have to say, we will rebuild and we will be stronger because of this.
Well, you know where we're headed, so you know where to find us if you need us.
Excellent. We have swift couriers, and they're remarkable trackers as well. So if we need to find you, we can find you. That sounded a little more sinister than I meant it, but rest assured, it's for purposes of communication only. So that's where your conversation kind of leads you. What are you all doing right now? Is there anything that you want to do before you all start heading out for Ada's Bounty?
Yes. I'm gonna take Andy and walk back to Thenquill, walk into her tent, and dramatically ungag her and ask, is there a spy among us?
Why should there be?
With Andy on the insight train.
You're asking Thenquill this?
Mm-hmm.
You rip the gag out of her mouth and you ask it, and she says, no. And that's where we're going to end the episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Legends of Lanimora podcast.
Okay.
I hope that you all had a great time listening. I had a great time DMing, and I hope that my players had a great time playing. At the end of every episode, I name a legend and a lull. For this week's legend, I think I'm going to make that... Scar. For getting some good information out of Thenquill there. You all didn't get all of the information that I had Thenquill locked away, but you did get a good amount of information from her, and I think Scar got maybe one of the most important bits. And so the lull this week, I think, will be...
Should be also me, because I just realized, and I did because I was so hyper-focused on the screen, that my Audacity crashed without realizing it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I can't make you the lull for a technical reason. So I think... Man, can I make all 3 of you the lull? For just being so scared of Thenquill that you took 30 minutes to deliberate on what you were going to do before you went in there?
Still want to kill her.
I think that's what I want to do. I want to make all 3 of you the lull. Because that's nice. So yeah, thank you so much for tuning in to the Legends of Lanimora podcast. If you want to reach out to us on social media, you can do that where, Nicole?
We have a Twitter. It's at Lanimora Pod and at Novi_studio. You can go there and talk with us. Or if you want to talk to us personally, you can find me at Nicole the Nerdy.
You can find me at _Nova Gamer.
I'm at Neurotic Good.
You can find me at _Squid Toaster.
We also have a website, novistudio.io. We have a ton of cool stuff up there, like an about section where you can get to know us, and a ton of artwork. And my favorite thing, our merch store.
Our merch store. We have shirts, we have mugs, we have stickers, we have everything you could possibly want to own that reps Novi, Legends of Lanimora, and City and Snow, as well as our newest show that just launched, Let's Talk About It. Also on our merch store, you can find digital downloads of our mini prequel campaign, Into Depths and Darkness, set 10 years before the events of Season 1. Find out what really transpired between Dr. Milo Thornburn, Kelvin, and Mara on tour. We also have the homebrew Pact of the Shepherd Warlock worksheet if you want to follow along or use it in your own game.
We'd love it if you could leave us a quick review on your podcasting platform of choice. If you enjoy the show, tell your friends about us. New episodes come out every other Tuesday, so stay tuned.
Yes, please stay tuned. We've got a lot of fun stuff coming up. Emily mentioned that we've got Let's Talk About It has just come out. That show is by our very good friend Lex, who has been on our Novi Presents live stream for the last segment. We've just launched their new show called Let's Talk About It, releasing every other Thursday. So make sure to go check up on that. Also, be sure to check out City and Snow, our sibling podcast, taking place in the same world of Lanimora, 127 ages before the events of Legends of Lanimora Podcast. Also, stay tuned for more announcements about What's What with Dilly and Dally, the talk show featuring Emily and Nicole from the Legends of Lanimora Podcast.
So excited.
Yeah, we've got a lot of fun stuff coming down the pipeline that we're really excited about. Get us at Novi_studio on Twitter for all those new announcements as they come out. But anyway, until next time, let's be legends.
Let's be legends.